Bulldogs goals as they come into this game. Their only win over at Brevard College, and that was back on August 31st. Switched here now for High Point. It's Ramirez. Ramirez back in the middle to Codolo. Ebby Codolo, he'll lose it. We'll see if Asheville can counter. Game's going to be very quick on this artificial surface, Keith.
No, it is. It does go quick, and you know it's a really good artificial surface that we had. We saw it 4 years ago when it had torrential rain. You know, out here in this surface, did so well with it. Most other surfaces you might not have been able to play that game, and but it does play a bit faster, and certainly it's that first touch that really gets exposed sometimes on this surface, and you got to be very soft with it. And you're watching High Point train last night. They've got some players that can certainly handle that. And, have a look there at number 23, Cameron Foster, who's basically sitting there as a holding midfielder to allow Ebby Codolo to be able to do his attacking stuff. And Foster, a redshirt junior out of Virginia.
Transfer from VCU. Ironically, last time we were here, we saw VCU play High Point. Here's High Point, just outside the 18. Here's a shot, not on frame, though.
And Renato Punyed with the left foot shot there coming in, the sophomore from Miami, Florida. A real clever player, played with the Kendall Soccer Academy. You have another look at that, bringing that ball across his body to the left foot, but ball taking a little bounce and getting under it.
Last year was Pat Shelton's goal in the 109th minute. They gave High Point a 1-0 victory over the Bulldogs. That was at Greenwood Field up in Asheville. The Panthers actually outshot Asheville 20-8, but the Bulldogs just missed winning the match in the 85th minute. Quentin Reynolds almost put one in.
Watching the foul called by referee Fotis Bazakos, who I believe I saw him referee the Duke-Boston College game just last night down the road. Duke had a big win, 1-0 for John Kurt Jr. squad.
Dustin Fonder, the head coach at High Point, now in his 8th season. Austin Yearwood trying to run it down. One back by Jackson Allen, the player that Keith Debatsik put the spotlight on to start the show here from High Point University.
Yeah, I think Jackson is a predominantly left-footed player playing at that right midfield. He often plays underneath the center striker, but he's playing at the right midfield. I think hopefully to come in to get a shot off of his left foot. A little more space out wide for him.
Originally it was Sotak over the ball. Now Zach Jones, another one of those App State transfers. Jones with his left foot rockets one in the box. Went off a High Point. It'll be a corner kick now for UNC Asheville.
Yeah, and one of the keys of the game for High Point actually is defending these set pieces. So this is very important. You know, that first set piece sent in there very well, and now a corner kick coming in for UNC Asheville. Zach Jones going to be serving this one in as well, and it's a really we call it an educated left foot. And let's see if he proves us right on this one.
There's the left foot. Pretty good ball. Comes all the way through. Sent back across the frame of the goal. And now Jones is on it again. Jones back with his left foot one more time. And that one not too educated. It'll go out of bounds. And it'll be a goal kick for High Point.
Yeah, you got way too much of that one after two good services. But that service on the corner kick, Cameron Foster for High Point, he might have got away with a little bit of pushing in there. And the UNC Asheville player having a good look at that, going in on that service, but got knocked out of the way.
There's David Price making his first start of his collegiate career. The freshman from Needham, Mass. is getting the nod. Cody Palmer has played all 6 games so far for High Point, but Coach Fonder making the change.
Yeah, he's wanted to shake a couple things up. You know, they've lost a couple in a row, and and everything. They just want to shake some things up. He's been doing very well in training, so gets his first go tonight, and the conference play. And it's great if he does well tonight. I mean, for Dustin, he'll have a couple keepers that he can go to in their competition in practice.
Cole Schweitering, the left back, boomed that one long. And there is the aforementioned David Price wearing the double bullets.
We can't tell you much about him, although he's never given up a goal in his collegiate career, Dean. That's all I can tell you for sure.
Tell you what, we pay a lot of money for that kind of intel. This one too long.
You can't go a lot of places and get that. I'm sorry.
Good to be with Keith Tabatsnik, 22 years, top man at Georgetown. Keith and I now been in the booth for nearly 10 years together. And thanks to the creation of the NSCAA TV, it's been a lot of fun. I tell you what, though, Rob Keough, the job he has done as the Director of College Services, putting these 20-game schedule together is amazing. And you think about, we got some great games coming. Penn State, number 7 in the country. We'll see them Wednesday against Brendan Nash. We've got Tulsa and UConn. Still, we got George Mason and Virginia. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I tell you what, I was looking at the fact that there's 6 teams in the country that still don't have a loss. 3 of them we're going to have on the year. You have Penn State, you have George Mason, also Davidson, with their big win over UVA this week.
Great point. October 14th, we'll be in Durham, North Carolina for Duke Davidson. Here's High Point, played in. Nipon trying to run it down. Coming over with authority, though, is Dan Jackson, and he will handle it.
That was the right midfielder, Chris Ramsell, with the layoff on that pass. Ramsell having to start over Ben Burden, the junior from North Carolina, who's the normal starter in that position, but fighting a little bit of a hamstring injury. We probably will see him today. He trained yesterday.
This one will go out of bounds, throw in for High Point, but they'll move it back a little bit. Austin Yearwood, the left back, wearing the armband. He's got the long throw to Nipon. Nipon, he'll get a piece of it. Pushed off the ball by Egley. Kept alive. Far side, shot for High Point. A little bit too strong, as that one will sail over. Chris Ramsell with the shot.
And one of the things when you play on a surface like this is you absolutely don't have to strike it as hard as you may think. It's really going to go off your foot when you hit it. And got a good little play there. This ball, fighting for the ball, and it pops out to Punyed. Punyed with a nice little layoff in there to Ramsell. I mean, a really perfect layoff, and needed to get that on target for sure. You don't get too many layoffs as good as that.
Okay, Keith, I'm just going to hit you a few times with the story here at High Point, okay? So here's the deal. They've basically taken over the city. They've got an ice cream truck that drives around every day that gives the kids free ice cream, but they also have a prime steakhouse so the kids can understand what it's like to get a big-time interview going on. The buildings are unbelievable. You walk into them, they're pristine, they're gorgeous. As High Point with the shot going far post. Everything about this place. And here's the thing too, it's not like you see like a ton of garbage collectors around. Like the kids, no, I mean the kids understand how clean it is and they keep it clean.
Well, I think that goes with saying that when you have something that's really nice, kids take pride in it and everything, and certainly that's instilled in them, by the way that this school is run. And you're right, I mean it's absolutely beautiful anywhere you go on this campus. And again, we talked about the building that we're sitting in right now, and certainly one of the best, if not the best view that we have, in any of the games that we've called this year.
Open air broadcast booth. Right at midfield. That'll go out of bounds. Over near Dustin Fonder, who, by the way, was the Division III Player of the Year during his Roanoke days. Apparently he was a handful up top, one of the better collegiate players you ever see. Here's a shot from Reynolds for UNC Asheville. He played under Henry Gutierrez, who was a star at NC State, part of those great NC State teams.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that they say about Quentin Reynolds is that he's entertaining. The second I saw that it was Henry Gutierrez as his coach, I knew why he's entertaining, because Henry was one of the more entertaining college players that I ever saw.
Went to Holly Springs High School, Quentin Reynolds. And one thing about Matt Kern, he recruits the Triangle very well as they make the ride up the mountains to Asheville, one of the more beautiful places in North Carolina, even across the country, home to the Biltmore estate as well. Similar house to what Keith lives in the D.C. area.
Oh, my.
$30 minutes left here in the first half. Ebby Cadolo, short for Ebenezer. And here's Sonny Makungu. Makungu, as we mentioned, played a couple years at NC State. Bombs this one, looking for Nipon. No problem for Dan Jackson.
Well, it's interesting because they did play that ball long, and you know, part of the reason that, you know, is just trying to get Nipon, you know, involved in the game and everything. But really, UNC Asheville dropped back quite a bit. There's plenty of space to keep moving that ball around, and you know, I think High Point needed to take advantage of being at home and forcing UNC Asheville to try to chase that ball a little bit.
UNC Asheville, Matt Kern, played at Hartwick, went to a couple college cups back in the day. Playing for Jimmy Lennox, now in the NSCAA Hall of Fame.
Well, I can remember Kern as a youth player in Maryland, a really good player. One of the top guys coming out of Columbia, Maryland.
Coming the other way, Reynolds with a push. And that'll be too long. I want to remind everybody that you can visit the official NSCAA college scoreboard and take a look at this replay first before we tell you about Top Drawer Soccer.
Yeah, he calls a push there, and I think they would much rather have that as a goal kick, actually, than having that free kick right back there. No reason for the referee to actually blow the whistle for the foul. Maybe he'll let him do the goal kick.
You can visit the official NSCAA college scoreboard at topdrawersoccer.com for all of your college score needs. Along with the most up-to-date scores, topdrawersoccer.com provides box scores, match, team, and player stats, video highlights, and game recaps of all the action around the country. And the action last night, I'll tell you, it just keeps getting better in Division One.
Yeah, well, like, you know, I've been saying a little bit, if you're number one, watch out, because you're probably not staying there. And the UCLA gets knocked off last night. They got the number one spot back from UNC after UNC had lost the week before. And it's San Diego with a record crowd of 4,500 beating UCLA 1-0.
Cudolo doing step overs 40 yards out in the middle of the field.
Well,
Did
you know,
see that, Keith?
He had a bit of space there to do it. He was waiting for someone to come challenge him.
Foster kept that one alive a moment ago, down near the right side. Jonathan Ware will try to run it down. Ware, the sophomore defender from Maryland, started at DeMatha High School.
Yeah, DeMatha, a real powerhouse in soccer. I mean, it's best known for its Morgan Wooden days of basketball and the great high school basketball players that came out of there, but it's been a powerhouse in soccer for many, many years.
Perfect night for college soccer Saturday night here on NSCAA TV. High Point University and UNC Asheville. Big South soccer. And we started to tell you about some of the other teams in Big South. Radford in Big South. Of course, you think Radford, you think Dante Washington, one of the best ever there. You've got Winthrop, Liberty, Campbell, Coastal Carolina, legit. Radford, High Point, Longwood, UNC Asheville, Presbyterian College down in South Carolina, and Gardner-Webb make up the Big South.
8 of those teams will go to the Big South tournament. 8 of those 9 are, of course, the winner of the Big South tournament with an automatic bid into the NCAAs.
27 minutes left here in the first half as the clock will count down. Cudolo out wide here to Yearwood. Yearwood surveying, looking for some purple jerseys. Mamadi Nipon. Nipon gets it wide left. Inside the 18, back across, right in front, back and in, and a goal for High Point. They're on the board, Renato Punyan.
You see Punyeto, look at them celebrating. I think that's been choreographed. I don't think that was just spur of the moment, but let's have another look at this. This was spur of the moment. This was Ramirez turning to his left, putting the cross over, and that's Punyed sealing it in at the back and getting that on target. First shot really on target and into the side netting.
Punyed's first goal of the season, making just his 4th start here in the 7th game, and Punyed with the goal. Ramirez also with his first point on the assist, and it's 1-0 High Point here at High Point.
And we saw that down the left side again with Yearwood to Ramirez. Ramirez cutting the ball back, and a really clever player there, a great little freshman out of Texas, and putting that ball right across the danger area. You know, a couple of people could have had a shot at it, but it keeps going, and coming in at that far post, almost always the place that seems to get left open. A lot of always that ball watching disease in soccer, and any defender on that weak side has to stay open to that player. And, certainly Punyed did what he needed to do.
So 1-0 on the strength of the goal from Punyed, who is from Florida. Actually made 12 starts a year ago in his freshman campaign. His brother Pablo started at St. John's. I think we called a few of his games for Dr. Dave Mazer, and now he plays over in Iceland. So Pablo Punyed, who we definitely saw up in New York for one of the Fox Soccer Game of the Week games.
Yes, we did, and a good soccer family, obviously. I'm sure those two played quite a bit, usually the benefit of the younger brother most of the time.
Here's Ramirez. He has the assist, his first of the season, as he played it over to the goal scorer, Punyed. This will come all the way back, and Jackson needs to boom it long. Interesting when you look at that play, Jackson came out to handle the square, but then when it came back across, he kind of slipped and wasn't there.
Yeah, that ball came across so fast, that getting up, and it really was a little ping pong back and forth in front of him.
Kudolo, nice spin. The man from Ghana. Talked to him a little bit before the game. He, along with Mamadi Naipan, were watching the women's game as they play Gardner Webb. Back across again, and this time Jackson gets down, gets low, and he handles it.
Yeah, that time it was Ramirez again with the cross, but certainly a much softer cross than he had the first time, and fairly easy for Jackson to get on top of.
Congo trying to hold off Reynolds as David Price has it. High Point up 1-0, 24 minutes left here in the first half. Perfect night for soccer at perhaps one of the more perfect universities you're ever going to see. This place is just simply amazing. You got to come here to truly understand what I'm talking about. Sonny Makungo will knock it out of bounds. I want to thank Joseph Arancio for the fine job he does, the top SID PR man here at High Point, kind enough to give us a tour early this morning. A throw in now for UNC Asheville. Coach Kern's team finds himself down a goal. UNC Asheville has a long throw. They'll get it into the 18 on this one for sure, as Reynolds is lurking. Quite a few players in the box. Headed out of there by Ware. Snapped over by the goal scorer, Punyed. And with that ball going out of bounds, it is indeed my pleasure to welcome in Roger Clodfelder, the Associate VP for Communications and Culture here at the beautiful High Point University. Roger is responsible for university media relations, publications, and branding, and fostering cultural growth. He also oversees camp and engagement efforts. Clodfelder joined High Point in 1996 as an admissions counselor and has held several roles, including the Assistant Dean of Students for Campus Life and the Director of WOW, which we're going to learn a little bit about. Speaking of WOW, High Point trying to add to the scoreline here. They'll spread it wide right. Ware, the right back, comes forward with his right foot, back across, and that'll go out of bounds. Roger, it's great to be with you.
Dean, thank you for having us. We're glad to have you here at High Point University.
Well, we're thrilled to be here. Of course, it's family weekend as well. Talk a little bit about that. It's pretty exciting on campus, a big buzz.
Well, it's a great weekend. The weather's great. We got tons of family here to watch the game. We got 4,000 of our current parents who are here to visit their students, and the parents love being here. In fact, the parents would like to stay and enroll.
I'd like to stay and enroll, and I mean that sincerely. We came here about 4 years ago on a Fox Soccer Game of the Week, and I've been talking about High Point University ever since. It's one of, like I just said before you came on the air, you almost have to be here to truly understand how beautiful it is.
You do have to be here to truly understand, and beyond the beautiful campus, Dean, what we've really done here is provided an amazing learning environment for our students, and parents and students have found great value in it. And we've seen tremendous growth and transformation over the past several years as a result of that.
Here's Yearwood. He's dancing around, gets it on his right foot, too long. And, of course, the legendary now, I mean, he's with us right now. Dr. Kubain is so amazing. Talk about the growth under his leadership.
Dean, he came here in 2005 as our seventh president, accepted that position, and really came from a tremendous career as a business consultant, speaker, author. He sits on boards of some national companies, and he brought a business acumen to his role here as president. But he's an educator at heart, and he has led us on this transformation. We have grown from 1,450 traditional undergraduate students to now 4,300 undergraduate students. That's, in fact, our freshman class that just entered last month was larger than our entire traditional undergraduate enrollment in '05. We've added 50 buildings to our campus, academic, residential, you name it, and our campus has grown from 92 to 380 acres. So some tremendous growth. Those are just a few of the numbers.
Those are just a few of the wows, and I want to get to the WOW program. But before I do, talk about some of the exciting things on the horizon of High Point. I did the tour again today. The Student Success Center is one. It's amazing.
That's a great facility that will open up in the spring. That building is a $16 million building for experiential learning for our students. They'll house career and internships, the entrepreneurship program, undergraduate research, service learning. And Dean, what's amazing is that building has been funded entirely by parents of current students who are investing in this university. Beyond that, health sciences, a School of Health Sciences and School of Pharmacy are on the horizon. We're about to embark on an $85 million building for those two programs. We'll house physician's assistant, physical therapy, and a doctorate in pharmacy. So those are some of the exciting new academic initiatives coming up here at High Point.
You're hearing the great pipes of Roger Clodfelder, the Associate VP for Communications and Culture. We almost saw a goal from Mamadi Naipon as well. That certainly would be an extra bonus with Roger up here. Talk about the WOW program and then roll right into the culture that you try to instill in everyone here at High Point.
The culture, Dean, is so important here, and that's the thing that you have to be on campus to really understand when people say you got to check out High Point University. It stems from Dr. Kubain's desire for everyone who works at High Point to be a hero, a model, a mentor. Faculty, of course, do that in the classroom. They do that in advising roles. They do that in research mentorship roles. But Dr. Kubain has really said to everyone that works here, we have an opportunity to help these young people on their way. So the culture is about caring, and it's about making sure that students are in the position to focus solely on the learning experience they have.
Kudolo, it was Ramirez who started this attack, as we're joined in the booth by Roger Clodfelder, Vice President here at High Point. UNC Asheville down a goal, trying to get the equalizer. They play it up top to Reynolds. Reynolds with some speed. He'll take a shot, and that'll be no problem for the young freshman making his first start, David Price, as well. And so many colleges out there. What makes the education at this wonderful university so unique?
Thank you, Dean. Yes, it's about our focus on holistic learning. Learning inside the classroom is imperative, but we want to make sure students that they're also well-rounded and understand how to take that classroom knowledge and apply it in the real world. So experiential learning, getting out there and applying what they've learned in the classroom in real-world settings is very important to us. We have this freshman life skills seminar class that all of our freshmen take, where Dr. Kubain works with them, and we talk about fiscal literacy, communication skills, how to be persuasive, so students can balance off all this classroom knowledge and really be able to apply it and communicate and connect in a global marketplace.
All right, finally, just so people can, they get tired of me talking about it, where can people go to learn more about this wonderful university? Give them the website, Roger.
Dean, it's highpoint.edu, and we'd love to encourage people to come out and visit. Like you say, once you see this place, you really do understand.
If you see it, you'll believe it for sure. Roger Clodfelder, Vice President for Communications and Culture, and the culture is amazing. Roger, thanks for having us. Thanks for being with us.
Dean, thanks for being at High Point University.
My pleasure. Good times with Roger Clodfelder. What a job he does as the Associate VP for Communications and Culture. And I'll tell you can feel it, man, the vibe that everybody works here. They carry it really well, Keith.
Well, it's very clear they love working here, and that starts from the top. And the leadership here, they've just been fantastic hosts. They were 4 years ago. They're again this time round, and we come back again. It's going to be the same.
Well said, Keith. Just a great atmosphere. Everybody is, it's kind of like in the air, like there's happy gas around. Everybody's just really happy to be here at High Point. Could be the ice cream truck. Here's Mamadi Naipon. He was bragging about the ice cream truck. You'll see Mamadi Naipon on the NSCA Men's College Soccer Review Show. You can watch Monday at 1 o'clock by going to NSCAA TV. You'll also see Dr. T, Keith Tabatsnik, giving some intel on all things college soccer, all levels. 16 minutes here left in the first half, and it is High Point on top, 1-0.
Well, Dean, it's amazing how fast the season goes by, almost reaching the midway point, a regular season. And the midway point, of course, means conferences starting up, and all the conferences around the country getting rolling over these last couple weeks. And this the Big South opener for both these teams. As I said before, 8 teams out of the 9 make the Big South tournament. In the first round, the higher seed hosts, and then it's in Greensboro for the Final Four of the Big South.
Both teams now start to go to their benches. The benches are on the far side. We'll do our best to keep you up to date on who's coming in and out. For Matt Kern, the head coach of UNC Asheville, now in his 5th year, and Dustin Fonder, the head coach of High Point, now in his 8th season here with the Panthers.
Number 2, Alex Eden. In for High Point, number 18, Pat Sheldon. And number 14.
And Keith, you've got full reign to tell us who's coming in as well, if you catch it before I do from the far side here.
Well, one of them in is number 18, Pat Shelton for High Point, and this is a guy that they really expecting a lot of things from, again, as he's coming off an injury, and if he can, as we see him on the ball for the first time, Dean.
Here's Shelton, played up to Mamadi Naipon. He'll leave it. What a great dummy. Oh, and off the far post as crashing in there for High Point. Another sub, as it's Wiley, Colston Wiley, number 14.
Yeah, just got in the game as well. We're just getting to it. So the 2 subs making an impact right away. The cross going in, and Colston getting that shot off the post. Oh, Dean, they got to hit the inside of the post. We keep saying that every single week.
He was turning to celebrate on there as well. So clearly Jackson also got a piece as the rebound goes out. It'll be a corner kick here now for High Point, as the 2 subs almost making it 2-0 for High Point. Naipon is there, but so is Jackson, and he'll bring it in.
Yeah, Jackson taking that out of the air very well. Actually, it looks like a foul was called as well. I don't understand why you call that foul when the keeper has the ball in his hand, though. It's actually taking the advantage away from UNC Asheville when the referee does that. But at any rate, good cross in, but really, oh boy, what an impact on subs right away. On the other side of it, UNC Asheville, number 2, Alex Eden, went into the game. Eden, redshirt freshman. He was a transfer from Florida Gulf Coast University.
Naipon had a little more time than he realized. It's a different game on the surface, no doubt about it. You've got to play the balls completely differently.
Well, you do it, and one of the biggest things is when you get into the final third is that final pass. And it's always the hardest pass in the game of soccer to set somebody up to be able to get in a first-time shot or cross. But on this surface, you just got to be that much better. And again, the soft touch that you need to have, the preparation touch.
The senior Wiley, he was making the turn to celebrate. As Wiley, this just his 4th game on the season, no points. Boy, it's family day here at High Point University. You got to figure his family was here. He was probably going to run right up to him.
Exactly. Well, hopefully he'll get another chance running up and down that left side. And he came in to give the assist man, Irvin Ramirez, a break, who played outstanding down that left side up to this point in the half, and 12 minutes left. And it was Pat Shelton going up top for the goal scorer. So the assistant man and the goal scorer out of the game right now. And I was saying before that they're hoping that Shelton, will be able to take a lot of pressure off Naipon, and also be able to be the recipient of the fact that Naipon gets marked so closely that he could be out, as Punyet was on the first goal.
Mamadi Naipon from Greensboro, North Carolina, went to Water Hines Page, and Renato Punyet is from Florida. And here's Wiley. Yearwood back across. Nipon, so tricky. Nipon is in, right through. Nipon, are you kidding me? Mamadi Nipon, High Point. Was it 4 white jerseys or 5?
Well, 4 or 5 white jerseys and the goalkeeper. Add him in as well. Here we go. I think we're going to see a lot of that this year. Nipon with his 6th goal of the year, his 35th career goal. The cross comes in by Yearwood. Actually comes a little bit behind, but look at this. That's 1-2 players there. Going to get one of them again. 2 more players. Take a 3 and the goalkeeper.
Nipon now the Division I career leader here at High Point with 35. He's just 4 away, though, from tying the all-time career goals record of 39 by Dexter Gilmore, who did it back in 86 to 89. And those 2 points now tie Archer, the man he passed at the Division I level, Chris Archer, for career points record with 80. So Mamadi Nipon will go down as one of the all-time greats here at High Point University.
Yes, and he also off to the bench after that goal. Hey, that's your reward for scoring that goal. You get to come to the bench for a little bit. But Avery Ryan coming in, yeah, the dance. It wasn't the goal. I think the dance was a little more effort on that. But that was something. That's certainly one of the best goals individual goals you're gonna see all year.
2-0 High Point University on top of UNC Asheville. Big South competition underway. Misplayed by Francis. Talked to Francis before the game. He wears glasses. Normally doesn't wear them in the games. And I asked him, did he wear contacts? And now it takes him a little while to adjust. So he might be my broadcast partner up here.
I was just going to say, I understand completely.
It's not every day when you look at the media guide, you see the right back with it. Oh my, here's a mistake. And taken away there. Number 15, Tevin Beckwith off the bench.
And I'll tell you what, that's such a gift, and you've got to punish. You got to punish for that gift, and putting that ball over top. That was pretty easy finish. Have another look at this, and just how the ball gets there, and it just very casual layoff there. I mean, you just don't do that, Makungu. And he was not the ACC on the All ACC freshman team at NC State for that sort of play. And that's just very casual. You just get that out, keep it going, and if anything happens, just get it out of bounds. But
yeah, his youth coach as well, Elmar Bolovich, will not be too keen on that play. Of course, Elmar Bolovich, who coached Makungo with Triangle United, is now the head coach at Creighton after an amazing job at UNC Chapel Hill.
Doing a great job at Creighton this year as well.
Speaking of Creighton, how about the job Bob Wormey's doing at Penn State?
Well, again, another one of these coaches that's moved schools a couple times. It seems everywhere he goes, whether it's a short period of time or whatever, he gets that program turned around, not only on the field, but also with the enthusiasm, around it. Of course, he took over for legendary coach Barry Gorman as well, who had so many fantastic years at Penn State, and he's just keeping that tradition going.
And that mini promotion leads into Wednesday night, as we will be in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, to see Brendan Nash's Bucknell Bison take on the Penn State Nittany Lions. And it's always fun to be at Bucknell, Keith.
It is, and they've got a good team. They've got, to me, one of my favorite players, that I watch play, just a really neat, crafty midfielder, Chris Thorsheim, who I'm just very familiar with his days in the Region Olympic Development Program, and then he went to the Red Bull Academy. But you tune in for that to watch him, but obviously to watch a very good game and a top 10 team in Penn State. And Penn State, if they happen to win this weekend, will still be one of up to six teams that have not lost a game this year.
Back across, another shot for High Point. This one handled by Jackson. As dialing one up there is Avery Ryan, the freshman from Florence, South Carolina. There's a look at the big Ryan, number 24.
I'll tell you, when he goes into the game at this stage, it's not a break necessarily when Nipon goes out, because this guy has so much speed, Avery Ryan, and sometimes when this game slows down and all of a sudden he has a chance to go.
Well said, Keith, because his speed forced the turnover there, and you love it when your front runners can put pressure on that back four and create an unforced error like it did right there, and gives High Point possession again. Makungu trying to bomb it forward for Ryan. Ryan with a good touch in the 18, turns it couldn't get any mustard behind it as crashing in there was Colskin Wiley.
But
And
I'll tell you what, Dean, I'm going to say that's more than a good touch. That was actually an outstanding touch on that long ball as he had a defender right on his side as well and brought it right down with him. I'm not sure if he was surprised he brought it down or not, and that's why he didn't kind of get a hold of it.
yeah, it was a great touch. Well said. Keith Gonzalez played up top. And this one a little bit too long. Wow, they'll say it goes off a High Point. And Victor Aguiar knew that, and he did well to just let it roll out. Dangerous throw in here now for High Point as Matt Kern will go to his bench again, and we'll get a sub in as coming out of the game for UNC Asheville, A.J. Imes.
It's certainly a bit unusual to sub at the outside back of the stage unless he's holding on an injury or something.
Aguiar with the throw in. He'll get it back. Pretty good bounce here on this artificial turf. It's a foul for High Point and a dangerous free kick here for UNC Asheville.
Yeah, it's dangerous, and interestingly, we'll see it again. Zach Jones coming over almost for sure to take this if he is still in the game. Well, Zach may have been one of the guys that came out earlier, so.
Victor Aguiar.
Yes. So Victor will be taken, the freshman from Florida. 2 assists on the year, and he is a lefty as well. This sets up well, probably pushing that just over the penalty spot in that near post area.
3-man wall for High Point. David Price directing traffic. 6 minutes and change left here in the first half. Free kick. Aguiar goes far post. It's open. It'll be a corner kick for High Point.
That was open. There's a fair amount of space behind that line of defense in the near post, and sailed it a little bit long, but almost had a chance. And now another restart here. This is the second time that they've had a free kick that's led to a corner kick.
Corner kick. High Point University. Left foot driven in, near post. Ryan, look at the speed of Ryan. Well done, though, the defensive work there. Tracking back, Shelton. Up top, Joseph Tefera rather, is in there now, the redshirt freshman from Durham, North Carolina. He played at Jordan High School. Under 5 minutes here remaining in the first half. Keith, your thoughts on the home team, High Point University?
Well, pretty much have done everything that they would have wanted to do in playing at home in the first half, and going right at UNC Asheville from the beginning. Just giving up a couple things. Obviously, that bad mistake in the back by Makungu, and a couple of these restarts in difficult situations. But other than that, I mean, there really hasn't been, a threat. Only the one that they gave away, really, to them. So UNC Asheville hasn't really been able to create too much, on their own. And you get the feeling that as the game goes on, if High Point stays focused and really defensively making it so it's so hard for Asheville to get the ball out, they're going to continue to create those chances. And both as a team and those great individual efforts that we saw there with, especially Irvin Ramirez setting up Punyed for the first goal.
It was Jackson Allen, number 18, doing the defensive work earlier on for UNC Asheville. I want to point that out as he got back and was able to stop the runaway train of Avery Ryan. Ebby looking for Ryan. Ebby tracks back, a little casual, and then with the foul as he takes down number 3, Andrew Sotak. Part of that Fuquay Varina Mafia, as Matt Kern says. Several players from Fuquay Varina.
I read your notes on that, Dean. I really wasn't sure what you're getting at with that, but that explains it.
Throw in for High Point, 3 minutes and change. A comfortable lead here, 2-0 to begin Big South play. Here's Ryan. He's got an extra gear. Ryan pushed by Sotak. He goes down. Good no call, though, by the referee. We'll talk to Dustin Fonder right at the end of the first half. Stay with us on NSCAA TV. At halftime also, a special feature on the High Point University soccer program. You'll want to check that out as well, and then we'll bring you the highlights, show you the goals as well. Remember, Dan Hauser, the athletic director from High Point, will join us in the second half as we put the spotlight on High Point University, and pleased to be able to do it.
They're putting the spotlight on the scoreboard right now, 2-0. Just under 3 minutes left in the half. Fairly complete control of this game. A mistake at the back, couple of restarts they've given up, but pretty much not anything UNC Asheville's really put them under any consistent pressure whatsoever. Just the other way around. And this is one of the reasons, the way they get forward. Yearwood getting forward from the left back over and over again.
Yeah, they do it in a flash, don't they?
A very fast team. They got a lot of elements in here to be a very good team.
They ping it around. High Point University, one thing that you know, they always play fun, attractive soccer. They'll keep it on the ground, but they're not afraid to go right down the middle of the field as well. Why not when you got a guy like Nipon up top that you can knock it into? High Point looking for three. It was Ryan with the shot, deflected and knocked out of bounds by Coach Schweidering, the junior, also from Fuquay-Varina. Fuquay-Varina, better said. Matt McCullough could say it better. Here's a throw-in for High Point. Yearwood. Pretty sure that was a pass, but I'm not sure. I'll tell you, they're not afraid to dial from distance on this artificial surface.
Yeah, that distance would have been something, though. You're right. That was a pass. And I mean, I'm impressed with his left foot, the way he pings those balls in there, and they kind of drop into little seams of the defense. And very impressed with Yearwood, the junior from North Carolina. 8 assists last year, and you can see why when you see that left foot.
60 seconds left here in the first half. It's been all High Point. Renato Puned with his first goal of the season. Mamadi Nipon with his 6th and 35th overall. The guy has been phenomenal. And Nipon, just an unbelievable individual effort. Played into space, looking for Ryan. Well done, though, by Dan Jackson, the senior from East Chapel Hill High, right at the top of the 18.
That's one of the things that you were talking about, the speed of this field, and a pass like that's going to be very difficult to go through. On a grass field, might slow it down on the run, but you got to play that ball off post, not straight down the middle, to have a better chance.
Cameron Foster, the redshirt junior, drops it to Ebby Cadolo.
7,
They get it up top.
5, 4, 3.
Final 3
2,
seconds,
1.
and after 45 minutes of play, it's High Point 2, UNC Asheville 0.
And I tell you what, exactly what it should be based on the possession and the danger element there. High Point just going right at UNC Asheville from the beginning and capitalizing. Of course, very good. 2 really good goals. One on the pass, all done by the left midfielder, the freshman from Texas, Irvin Ramirez, beating his player down the left side, getting a hard cross right in front of the goalkeeper, and then the defense having to face their own goal. And who's coming at the end? Renato Puned, the sophomore from Florida, finishing on that.
All right, let's take a look now at the NSCAA Disney Soccer Player of the Week as we wait for Dustin Fonder to make the trek over here to talk to us at halftime.
In Greensboro.
So we're here at High Point University.
Fans at this time,
High Point on top by a score of 2-0. There he is, another goalkeeper from Kentucky, the Disney Soccer Player of the Week, Callum Irving.
Yeah, Callum Irving, I tell you, he's on a run of shutout minutes, 440, something like that, shutout minutes in a row, and that's why he gets this Disney Player of the Week. Congratulations, Callum Irving.
All right, he is our Disney Soccer NSCAA Player of the Week. Dustin Fonder, now in his 8th season as the top man for High Point University, and really nice goals, creative play from Puned and Nipon. How do you like your team after 45, Dustin?
Good. I thought we got off to a good start. Obviously, we found 2 goals. I don't think we created enough, though. We'd like to create some more shots in the second half and eliminate some of the silly mistakes and silly fouls.
Well, you certainly had the one silly mistake in the back that they did not punish you on. But, yeah, I mean, you think maybe the guys are just so excited trying to go forward too fast?
Yeah, I think they're excited. We got a great crowd here tonight. It's a nationally televised game. I think the guys' nerves are up a little bit, but, we've got to be more mature and do a better job of managing the second half.
Well, aside from the goals, are you happy with the celebrations? Is that why you took Naipong out? He just spent too much energy on the celebration?
Yeah, we had a plan of getting him out. We want to get Avery Ryan some minutes, but, we're pleased to score at home. We haven't done that in a while, so we're just glad to be scoring goals.
The celebration, just another part of the happy gas here at High Point University. Great crowd, though. You got to love the support, Coach.
Thanks, Dean. I appreciate it.
All right, good luck the rest of the way.
All right, take care.
Dustin Fonder, the head coach here at High Point University. Let's take a look now at the NSCA Continental Tire Top 10. And, of course, this is going to change come Tuesday as well, Keith the Batsnick.
Well, it is going to change. You had UCLA was number 1, but they lost to San Diego, as we said before, and Virginia had lost to Davidson earlier in the week. Creighton, by the way, not in there, but they had a big win over Villanova today. And look at this. Who's going to be number 1 next? I don't know. Virginia had the loss. Maybe Notre Dame. They had a big win over UNC last night and rounded out St. Louis. I think they got something going this year, don't they?
Top 10 presented by Continental Tire, proud to be presenting sponsor of the NSCA Continental Tire Rankings and the NSCA College Soccer Special. It is halftime here in Wonderland, High Point University. This place is pristine, it is special, and so is the soccer team. They lead UNC Asheville 2-0 right here on NSCAA TV.
At High Point University, every student receives an extraordinary education in an inspiring environment with caring people. Cutting-edge academic programs are matched with state-of-the-art living. The transformation of this institution has tripled its size, and it has attracted national attention. Students learn and live in a beautiful 300-acre campus. That's High Point University. Extraordinary.
You watch the match live. You road trip to the away games. You rise and fall with every run. Above all, you live your love of the game. Whatever you do, get there with Continental Tires and improve your grip with extreme contact traction.
Continental Tire, for what you do.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. No matter where you are in your coaching path, we have something for you. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
The broadcast of this match is authorized by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of any image, sound, account, or description without the express written permission of the NSCAA is strictly prohibited. Perfect night for Saturday night soccer on NSCAA TV from beautiful High Point University and the state-of-the-art Witcher Athletic Center at Vert Stadium. Hey, let's take a virtual tour.
The Witcher Athletic Center is our home as student athletes.
We have our coaches' offices and locker rooms here, plus access to our academic center and athletic training space.
have a great place to study and get tutoring in the Academic Center.
Our athletic training staff gives us all the treatment we need with amazing facilities and equipment not many other schools can offer. Our locker room provides us a great space to prepare for competition and go over game film.
Plus, our lounges give us a great place to bond as a team.
We can compete, get treatment, and study, all right here in this building. We have everything we need.
We are here at High Point University. It is halftime. This place is truly special as we took you on that virtual tour of the Witcher Athletic Center at Birch Stadium. We'll come back with the first half highlights and the stats with High Point on top of UNC Asheville 2-0.
Now's your chance to be part of the most popular soccer camp in North America. Challenger Sports offers a wide range of programs with over 3,000 British Soccer, Tetra Brazil, and Soccer Plus camps for players of all ages and abilities. Join me and Challenger's talented and committed coaches as we help develop new skills, build confidence, and find the magic in your game.
Summer camps are filling up. Register early at challengersports.com and get your free game jersey today.
Coach named Ziggy Schmidt. He got a hold of me at 18 years old. It was great for me because, you know, he was strict on us, he was strong with us, but he was very fair. I have to make time for the things I want to do. I want to get better at my sport. I have to take some time, set time aside and do that. Really taught me about the game in general, and tactics, you know, how to watch a game, how to see a game. A lot of the lessons I learned from Ziggy I kept with me throughout my whole career. And it was good because, you know, I always wonder what my path would have been like if I had a different coach.
See what you're made of. You ever coached under 12s before? Can't say I have. You're not a team. You don't deserve to be a team. Sorry, I showed you that. It's not just about football. It's about dreams.
It's halftime of the NSCAA Game of the Week here on Saturday night. We got more big-time games coming your way. Wednesday night, Lewisburg, PA for Bucknell. Brendan Nash and Bob Warming's Penn State Nittany Lions.
Yeah, I say don't miss that one Wednesday night. Penn State coming in if they win this weekend with an undefeated record, no losses. They have a tie and that's it, and Bucknell always tough at home.
Penn State's at Michigan tomorrow, and then Richie Grant left Memphis to take on the job at Cal State Bakersfield. They'll host San Jose State and the former head coach of Bakersfield. And Greg Andrulis, George Ganovich at Virginia, UConn, and Tulsa. Ray Reed, Tom McIntosh, Duke Davidson, Akron, West Virginia. Those are the men broadcasts. A couple women's games left as well as part of the college soccer special. Nikki Izzo Brown, West Virginia. Tom Stone, Texas Tech. And then Aaron Rodgers, Ohio U, will welcome in Miami of Ohio in Athens, Ohio on October 12th. As more broadcasts coming your way on NSCAA TV. Time now to tell you a little bit more about Disney Soccer. As Disney Soccer, proud to bring you the NSCAA Disney Soccer Player of the Week every week as well. Learn more at DisneySoccer.com. We're going to take a break, come back here on NSCAA TV. It's halftime with High Point leading UNC Asheville by a score of 2-0.
You watch the match live. You road trip to the away games. You rise and fall with every run. Above all, you live your love of the game. Whatever you do, get there with Continental Tires and improve your grip with extreme contact traction.
Continental Tire, for what you do.
Welcome back here, getting ready to start the second half. Now joined by the fifth-year head coach of UNC Asheville, Matt Kern. Matt, great crowd here. High Point took advantage of a couple opportunities. How do you adjust here in the second half, Coach?
Yeah, we have to do a little bit better job of getting a bit more compact. Our two holding central midfielders were behind the ball, but basically on top of our back four. And so we have to make sure that we're squeezing a little bit higher. We have to get a little bit more pressure on their two holding central midfielders. And we're going to try to do that by getting a few more technical players in there and see if we can't break their pressure.
Well, obviously getting the technical players in there, Matt, is important too. You got to win the ball first, but anything different offensively, because I think one of the things you want to do is try to keep the ball a bit so that you wouldn't be defending so much. Any changes to lead to that?
Yeah, we're gonna go with Aguiar and Jackson Allen up front together. Those are two of our more technical players who we think can hold the ball. And we're going to go with Eden out wide left, who's pretty crafty as well. And we're bringing on a freshman, Andrew Lawrence, wide right in the midfield, who's pretty clean on the ball too, who we think will help us connect more than 3 passes.
Matt, thanks for all your time. Good luck in the second half. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, Dean and Keith. Thank you.
All right, Matt Kern, the fine head coach. We'll take one more break and come back for the second half. Right here, it's High Point on top, 2-0 over UNC Asheville.
At High Point University, every student receives an extraordinary education in an inspiring environment with caring people. Cutting-edge academic programs are matched with state-of-the-art living. The transformation of this institution has tripled its size, and it has attracted national attention. Students learn and live in a beautiful 300-acre campus. That's High Point University. Extraordinary.
Welcome back here to High Point University as we get set to start the second half. 2 first-half goals for High Point. In the 19th minute, Renato Puned on the assist from Irvin Ramirez made it 1-0. As we take a look here at the first-half highlights.
It was early in the game for UNC Asheville. Quentin Reynolds had a couple chances early. That was one. This was the second one. No problems there for David Price, the freshman goalkeeper. But then it was High Point taking over. Irvin Ramirez slicing and dicing, getting that crossover, and Renato Puned, first assist of the year, first goal of the year. That was Texas to Florida for that. Have another look at it from ground level, putting it in right back to the back post. It's 1-0 High Point. Now we have a couple subs in the game, right? And Pat Shelton right in, first touch, puts it across to Colson Wiley, off the post there, trying to make it 2. Couldn't do it here. Now Austin Yearwood puts it in. And let's see what happens here. There's too many defenders for him to go. Mamadi Naipon, well, maybe there's not too many defenders. 3, 4, 5, 6, and the goalkeeper, and he puts it in. And one more look at this, because this looks like I think I saw George Best do this in the NASL many years ago, Dean, but look at that. That's why he's the all-time Division I leading scorer for High Point.
Yeah, incredible. Mamadi Naipon individual effort as we get you set here for the second half. High Point in purple, black, and black. UNC Asheville, the visitors in all white, and they trail by a score of 2-0. Good to get Matt Kern's perspective. He's going to make a few changes.
Yeah, he's got a few changes there. You know, and, as we were saying, Jackson Allen and Victor Aguiar both up top. You know, technical players up there. Of course, the thing about that is you got to get it to them. And if they can get it into their feet and stuff, they are players that hopefully can make something happen for them. Number 2, Alex Eden in as well this half. Played a little bit at the end of the first half, and he's playing a wide left. And Andrew Lawrence, number 17, a freshman, playing on the wide right side. So they got quite a challenge. You know, anytime you're chasing the game, you're chasing against a team that has good attacking players, you know, you risk opening up and giving in that third goal, which is effectively put the game out of reach. And, you know, right now it's not. It's 2 goals, and any time that you can pluck 1 goal back, you know, you got a game going again.
High Point able to win it back. They drop it up to Naipon. Naipon. Touch was a little heavy. Here's Cameron Foster will run it down. Good diagonal ball is in. And a whistle first, though. Hang on. Let's see what they call here.
They're bringing it all the way back.
That was...
Yeah, I mean, he got the pass in.
I don't know about that. How do you do that?
I don't understand that because he actually let him play. He got the pass in, and
Ramsell was in.
Yeah.
Ramsell was in right there, and then the whistle.
I mean, you certainly hope if Ramsell got the ball, he wouldn't have whistled it. But, you know, he's done a couple tonight, you know.
Look at Naipon again. Plays it up in the air on the turn. So strong. Just creating his own space.
You know, normally I would have kept talking because I wouldn't think anyone could have done anything, you know, when he got the ball there, Dean. It wasn't going to be a scoring chance, but because it was Naipon, I had to stop talking because he let you take over because you know something could happen.
Yeah, you never know, right, with Naipon, like what he's going to do. Well said,
what
Keith.
I've learned, Dean, is you never know what he's going to do, but now I know he's going to do something.
Boy, it's deep in here. 42 minutes and change here as we're just underway in the second half. Delighted to be with you on NSCAA TV. Remind everybody, January 14th through the 18th, the NSCAA convention is back in Philadelphia, the world's biggest soccer show, as I like to call it. January 14th through 18th. You can register now by going to nscaa.com/convention. The MLS draft, NWSL draft. Some of the best clinicians and coaches you will find. Just a great show, Keith.
It's a great show every single year, and as I say every single time, I haven't missed one, so I can't say I've ever missed one. It was the first time I went when I was about 18 years old, and have not missed since that time.
Keith's been going for 60 years.
So I say 18. I was 8 years old. Even that's not right.
High Point. Trying to thread the needle. Jonathan Ware. To Codolo. Codolo, only a freshman. I like what I see in him. He'll switch it. First time. Great ball over to Yearwood. Now Yearwood on the left side. High Point plays on the artificial surface. The game moves so fast. Codolo keeps it alive. Codolo on the turn. Down near the end line. Great fake. So calm. Back to Naipon. Ware wants it back. Boy, how about Codolo? That's a freshman right there. He didn't panic inside the 18. Took his time and put it back to Naipon.
Well, obviously a freshman that does not play like a freshman. A very talented player. I mean, clever. He's all over the place. Covers a ton of ground, too.
There he is again. Codolo. Ware. Back across. Far post. Boy, and Dan Jackson, the goalkeeper, has been busy for UNC Asheville.
I think he knew he was going to have a busy game, and in reality, you know, that first goal, you know, could he have done something to that cross coming over? It's hard to tell, but you know, certainly not a thing on, you know, how could you expect that second goal would even get to a shot to begin with? So many defenders in them. You were talking about the NSCAA and the convention, and if you go online to the NSCA website, nsca.com, and Joe Cummings, our leader for the NSCA, has a State of the Association address on it. It's worth listening to. You know, over 10,000 people at the convention last year. It's just amazing. And an association of membership of close to 34,000. It's just absolutely outstanding.
Joe Cummings has done an amazing job leading the NSCAA, and they've got a new home downtown Kansas City. The NSCAA making the move this week, so if you're in Kansas City and want to check it out, great place to be. Love their new location. Pretty exciting times for the NSCAA. Chris Ramsell, number 16, will drop it to Codolo. Codolo, middle of the park, marked quickly there by Victor Aguiar. Up top, looking for Mamadi Naipon. Half the key, Keith, as you know, as a coach from 22 years, is have some fun out there. It looks like Naipon is having a great time.
They're all having fun. It's, of course, it's easier to have fun when you're up 2-0, but they were having fun moving the ball around, trying to earn those goals as well, and they have not come by accident.
Shot from distance, not on frame, and this will come back now to UNC Asheville.
Yeah, it was Punya. Really, the ball was getting away from him right from his touch. Again, the fast field there, and you need shorter touches there to set up that shot, and ends up reaching for it. So the one thing to note, though, is he had a lot of time to set it up.
Pat Shelton, who came on in the first half for Dustin Fonder, has stayed on for the Panthers. Yearwood runs it down. Foster gets the attack started, and they'll square it here to Ebe Codolo. Now Sonny Makungu. Jonathan Ware.
Dean, as you see High Point knocking this ball around, you heard what Matt Kerr and Coach Rashville said at the halftime. They want to try to get the pressure on them and do it. That's easier said than done.
Well, this is great passing here from the Panthers. Right side, squared. Corner kick for High Point. They put together 11 consecutive passes right there.
Yeah, and they were very patient while they're trying to do it. And the thing about it, as those passes were going across the back, UNC Asheville didn't step up at all. So the space continued there. And then all of a sudden, a couple of their forwards step up, and that space in the midfield open, bang, in their turn, off they go on the attack.
Corner kick, High Point. They lead it 2-0, looking for more. Yearwood, the captain, he plays left back. He'll come forward with that left foot to handle the corner kick with the left. Keeps it down low. Plan play. It'll fall to Codolo. Shot. Another corner kick for High Point. Love that play.
Yeah, it was absolutely planned play. And by the way, this is one of the things you can do on this surface easier than you could do on grass as well, as this ball really zips. And, Punya sells it, lets it go by. And, certainly the defending there for UNC Asheville just caught there, not knowing which way that was going to go.
Nobody closed down Codolo, who had time enough to trap a tough ball, and this one will come across again. Punched out of there by Jackson. Very acrobatic goalkeeper. Stepping up here, UNC Asheville. Good move by Victor Aguiar. Had it for a moment. Right back by High Point, and now here's the ever-active Dan Jackson again.
Yeah, as Aguiar, won that ball, but he was the one that was, closest to Codolo before and was not able to shut him down.
Squared here. Played up top. You see the work now of Jackson Allen, number 18. He's a handful, Keith. You talked about him in the open.
He's only a handful if they can get him the ball, and I think that's one of the issues, isn't it? He was playing, and I think that's why they played him in the first half at the beginning at the outside midfield, hoping that, that's a space he could get the ball more and then do something. Now he's up top, and think about it again. At the moment, it's only 2-0.
Look at Naipon just dance. Keith, finish your thought.
Yeah, my thought was, everywhere he goes, there's a minimum 2 players, and he's still feeling he can get by them no matter what. But, that as just 2-0, even if they don't have much going right now, UNC Asheville, anything can happen. You saw the mistake in the first half that Asheville should have punished High Point on. It becomes a 1-goal game, then, everything can change. The whole mentality, and, in a second if that happens.
Codolo will come all the way back to David Price in his first collegiate start. He's got a clean sheet going. He's not been tested.
No, he really hasn't been tested, and you know, again, High Point has just kept the ball and kept the pressure in the other half. And you know, a couple of those crosses that came in on the restarts, really not close enough to, you know, for Price to decide to go out for.
Jackson and Price each had one save in the first half. High Point, though, with 8 shots to Asheville's 3. That was the first half stats. Here comes a little pressure from Asheville.
Yeah, it was a nice ball by Aguiar, playing that ball through to Lawrence, the freshman who began the second half here at right midfield. The early subs for Asheville as well. Gonzalez going off.
It looks like Nipon's going to go off for Dustin Fonder, and he doesn't look too happy about it, as Ryan, the speedster, will come on.
It's a bit unusual just 10 minutes in. It's Liam Walker, the big man, number 22, in for UNC Asheville, and you know, he starts quite a bit from 6'4". He's a box-to-box player. He's a ball winner, and really, you know, it's interesting because that's the type of player that they need in that center midfield right now to try to get some stuff going for them in the attack.
We thought Walker was going to start. Late scratch. Started out the season number 24. He now wears number 22. He's from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Here's the corner kick for UNC Asheville. They try to get one back. Snapped out of there, though, by Yearwood. Just diving header there from Yearwood. Snapped it about 35 yards. Back again across the frame. Makungo is back there along with number 2, Jonathan Ware. It'll be a throw in here for UNC Asheville, taking it Alex Eden. Eden, the redshirt freshman from Coral Springs, Florida. 2-0 High Point University over UNC Asheville right here on NSCAA TV. Ryan was clipped. It'll be a free kick opportunity for the team in purple.
Yeah, boy, he was certainly starting to take off. It didn't take much with the speed that he was going at to knock him down. Let's have another look at it, see exactly what happened. And I don't know if he clipped himself almost as well. He got touched a little bit, and then his feet got caught with each other. Called a turf monster.
Brian
Hand come up.
Wedogas.
Sorry.
There's Wedogas from Cary, North Carolina. Triangle United, Fusion, Castle, a lot of great clubs represented here.
So far on the night, Dean, 10 shots for High Point. Just the 3 shots in the first half for UNC Asheville. They need to generate some things here to try to get back into this game. But you know, a couple of that restart that they had, the corner kick, you know, almost found number 22 Walker right after he'd come in the game. And I think you're going to see that if they get any restarts at all, Walker getting forward with his 6'4" frame.
Foul on Codolo. See how long it keeps Mamadi Naipon on the bench. You wonder if Dustin Fonder, knowing it's a long season, is also just tracking some minutes from his superstar.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing, though, is he was out the last 10 minutes of the first half as well. So, you know, you wonder if there wasn't something there, you know, that caused him to take him out as opposed to a planned thing. It's hard to tell on that. I didn't see any injury or anything pull up, and it certainly didn't seem to stop him from beating 3 or 4 players, whatever was going on.
Victor Aguiar, the freshman from Boca Raton, will take the corner kick. Big opportunity for Matt Kern. And UNC Asheville kept alive for the moment. And now Foster will boom it out of bounds. It'll be a throw in back for UNC Asheville. Look at that. One back by High Point in their defensive third. They'll get it to Ryan, and off he goes. Are you kidding me? This guy is a speedster. Ryan, he has gone 70 yards inside the 18, dancing around. He just puts his head down and goes.
Well, I mean, again, what a good player to have off the bench is, the game when the game starts slowing down a little bit, the pace that he has, especially, by the way, Dean, the team against a team that's chasing the game and has to push up a little bit.
Played in. Could be 3-0 here. Back across. It is 3-0. Ryan gets a touch on it, and it's 3-0. Ryan pointing up to the box here. And mark him for a goal, number 24, Avery Ryan with his first goal here for High Point.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that goal was made by an outstanding cross by Pat Shelton, number 18. And have another look at this as the ball's played through, and there you go, Ramsdell playing that in. Shelton starting that play, putting the cross in, and there's the easy tap in for Ryan. And hey, Dustin obviously knew what was happening when he put him in for Niapon, and I just love that from Shelton. We talked about he's coming off an injury, and he's a very important player to this High Point team. And if, they obviously going to feel a lot of confidence coming out of this game if they keep going for the next 30 minutes. And gotta love that play there. I mean, Shelton started off with a pass, having that great run through, and the perfect pass on there. Again, on this surface, that weight of that pass has become so important to be able to keep things going.
Shelton coming back from that injury, just his 4th game, his first point of the season. And, of course, Ryan, the freshman, with his first 2 points of his career, scored right here on NSCAA TV, as it's all High Point here on a perfect night for High Point University to showcase their soccer program and this wonderful institution. Dr. Nito Kubain, we've seen him at halftime as well. He's a magician, the man, just an unbelievable speaker as well, astute businessman. He's done a great job putting High Point on the map.
And, that goal came at really after, just about to say UNC Asheville showing a little bit of hope for getting some balls in there and trying to find, something in the attack. It really, unfortunately for them, coming off restarts, with a corner kick and stuff. But, of course, you win those by getting the ball in the attack and, forcing a little bit of the issue onto the defense.
Asheville will take it from distance.
And that's Liam Walker. Again, the substitute who came in about 5 minutes ago. As soon as he came in, ball's going into the center in the restarts for him, 6'4", the big target for them. But he's a big presence, something that they really needed at this stage.
Goal kick now for High Point University. They have a comfortable lead and from a crowd that is truly enjoying it here at High Point University. As everything about the experience at High Point for the students and the student athlete is phenomenal. Here's Ryan, the speedster. He got one a moment ago, looking for another one. Ryan with his first goal of his career. And he'll play it all the way back. Ooh, Makungo comes in hard, 50-50 ball. But he'll bounce right back up, looks to be okay. With that, it is indeed my pleasure to be joined by the High Point University Athletics Director, Dan Hauser, is in the booth with me.
Dean, thank you.
It's great to be with you. Tell everybody a little bit about you. You spent the last 8 years as the Senior Associate AD at Ohio University. Oversaw the marketing and promotions, ticket ops, media relations, and the Ohio Bobcat Sports Network. In addition, he served as the athletic department liaison for IMG College, the Licensing Resource Group, and AVI Concessions. And of course, you also spent 7 years at Wake Forest, and you went to App State, so you love being back here in North Carolina.
Oh, this is a coming home for sure. I grew up in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's just nice to get back to North Carolina, my roots, and what better place than High Point University. This is a magical, amazing university, and I could be more prouder to be a part of it.
Well, and to come back, taking the reins of this incredible and really on-the-rise athletics department, you got to love it.
Oh, without a doubt. I think, the thing about High Point is the culture is built around the people, and they're great people here, and from President Kubain all the way down to all of our staff in the athletic department, that really enables us to have great high success.
Take a look here now at the free kick for High Point as they are pouring it on here against UNC Asheville. An impressive display to start Big South Conference play. 3-0. Could be 4 right here. Here's another shot from Kudolo, who comes from Ghana. And Kudolo, the freshman, he's been impressive.
He has been. Yeah, he's been impressive all year long for us as one of 2 Ghana freshmen for us, and we're just excited to have him on our campus and on our team.
Hearing the voice of Dan Hauser, the High Point University Athletics Director, coming over after 8 great years at Ohio University, my alma mater, by the way. So love seeing your Bobcat joy there. Now, we are standing here, Dan, in the brand new Witcher Athletics Center. What will this building provide to the student athletes here at High Point?
Well, this facility is one of the top 5 in the country, we believe, for soccer and men's soccer and lacrosse. And what this building has is, it's 36,000 square feet. It's just state of the art from the floor to the ceiling. And it's really going to enable our programs to go to a national and elite level. We've been knocking on that door and been in around the top 25, top 30 programs, and we believe this building is going to enable us to attract the next star, the next recruit that will take us to that next level.
Mamadi Naipon back into the game off the bench here for Dustin Fonder. He's got 1 already. As High Point putting on a clinic here in front of a great crowd. Back across again. It'll fall to the top to Kudolo. Look at him spin. This young man can play. Back across to Ramirez. Looking for a purple jersey. And UNC Asheville able to survive another attack here from the Panthers. And boy, beautiful crowd. It's been family weekend this weekend at High Point. There's joy here.
It is. It's an exciting environment, and it's family weekend. We have about 2,000 people here on hand. And it's just an amazing environment. But again, that comes down to the way the university is set up for success, and our future is very, very bright. I heard you were taking a few laps on the underwater treadmill downstairs and working out the knees and
by
stuff.
The way, yeah. Yeah, this place is amazing, as you mentioned, the underwater treadmill. But, just as impressive as this is, I know one of the things that I love about you is it's the student part. And you talked about Dr. Kubain as well. I mean, this academics here as a student athlete, phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because I'd be remiss if I didn't brag about our student athletes. I mean, we have 300 student athletes here. We average a 3.12 collectively, and that's just amazing. We also graduate 97% of our student athletes that complete their eligibility here at High Point graduate. So, those are just unbelievable records that we would put up against anybody in the country, and it just speaks to what we stand for. And this university is about empowering people for lifetime leadership and lifetime success. And I couldn't be more proud of our student athletes being role models in that regard.
Here, watching soccer, but come winter time, I know they like their basketball team as well. Talk about some of your other teams, including the basketball program.
Scott Cherry, our head coach, has done an outstanding job. He was Coach of the Year last year. We are the 2-time regular season champs in the Big South, and last year played in the NIT for the first time ever in school history. The great thing for us this coming year, we got 85% of our scoring coming back, including John Brown, who was a All-American Player of the Year of the Big South. And so that's going to be an exciting season. And, John, the basketball's getting ready to dribble up there for John and Scott Cherry here in the month of October, now that we're into that. So it's going to be exciting. And our women's team also won the Big South regular season championships last year, made the NIT for the first time in school history. And we couldn't be more excited about what winter's going to have in store for us on top of an amazing soccer season thus far for men's and women's.
We'll ask you about spring here in a second, but UNC Asheville trying to put one on the scoreboard. They get it into the mixer, sent out though. Mamadi Naipon mistimed it, but how about your spring sports, Dan?
Spring sports, we've got men's and women's lacrosse. Women's lacrosse is a 2-time NCAA tournament appearance team. Lindsay Boswell's done an outstanding job there, and I know she's confident that we'll be able to have that type of season again. And then John Torpy, our men's lacrosse coach, was a runner-up in his tournament last year. I know they want to knock on the NCAA door this year. The great thing about our competitiveness is, about 6 or 8 years ago, we were finishing 8th in the Sasser Cup, and that's the all-sports trophy for the Big South. And we're now, last year, we had our highest finish ever. We finished 2nd in the Big South Sasser Cup. Our charge this year is to win that thing for the first time in school history and really become the perennial power in this conference, and that's going to lead us to more national success down the road. And that's what drew me to this university and drew me to come here, is the opportunity for success and the opportunity to make things happen.
Mamadi Naipons has some success. Naipon dancing around, looking for any kind of angle. Unselfish drop to Ramirez. Now they'll find it here to Codolo. And Codolo will lose it. I thought we were going to get a goal here for the athletics director and then have him break down the replay. But let me tell you, Dan Hauser, it is so much fun being here at High Point University. And just so you know, my son is senior checking out High Point University, and boy, what a great option.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we'd love to welcome him in as a freshman next year, I believe, as it would be his class. And so it's just outstanding. Can't thank you enough for being here this evening. Really appreciate your coverage of college soccer, and it's important to highlight all of our student athletes, and this is just an outstanding opportunity.
Well, congratulations on your new job. Hope to see you down the road. Special gift here for Dan, and also your chief of staff, Chris Dudley. Make sure he gets that as well, okay?
I will do that, Dean. Thank you so much. And maybe one more goal here before the evening ends. I hope so.
I like it. Why stop at 3? Dan
Yes,
Hauser, the new athletic director for High Point University. Pleasure spending some time with him. I want to thank Joseph Arancio for setting it up as well, as it's 3-0 High Point.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dean, it's not that I'm trying to get Dustin's job, but that's the type of athletic director I'd love to work for. You know,
right?
Absolutely.
Eight years at Ohio University. Did I say that with a little extra
like
juice
that.
right
Yeah,
there?
you like that.
The Bobcats.
Very famous people from that university, Dean.
Matt Lauer is from Ohio University, in fact.
And even another famous media person, Dean Linke.
Had a good time, actually, with the NSCAA, taking OU students over to Europe to cover the World Cup with Ian Barker, the director of coaching, George Perry, the standing president of the NSCAA this summer. And with that, we will be in Athens, Ohio, coming up October 12th it is, a Sunday, as they'll take on Miami. Women's soccer, Aaron Rodgers, who Dan Hauser actually hired at Ohio University, so good connection there as well. 19 minutes here as it's 3-0 High Point, and you know, the legendary Chick Hearn for the LA Lakers would sometimes go early, saying the jello's jiggling. This one's over, and I feel bad for saying it because I like Matt Kern a lot, but High Point, they are in the driver's seat right here.
They're well into the driver's seat, and the thing about it right now is for both teams really is the focus right now is, you know, while obviously UNC Asheville, you want to do everything you can to get a goal back, hopefully, and get back in the game. You just want to try to do the right things, you know, and also when you're up by a few goals, you can start getting into bad habits as well. And so right now, it's for both teams to try to do the right thing, you know, keep the focus, and you know, obviously, you know, there's certain things both teams need to get better on. And you know, one thing for UNC Asheville is that got to just find ways to create chances.
Bombed in to Naipon. How did he get his head on that?
Well, partially by having a foul, I think, but you know, but again, it's in there. He's got a couple players around him, and we watched online a couple of his goals earlier in the year. A couple of headers was fabulous on him when he's attacking the ball.
High Point was picked to finish second in the Big South behind Coastal Carolina. Played up top to Allen. Jackson Allen, number 18. He's definitely been a bright light here today for Kern, despite 3-0. Although, just as I say that, he spins unnecessarily and will lose it.
Yeah, he did. I think he could have played that ball and tried to get it back. But, you know, also when you're losing, you're clawing to try to get back. Sometimes players like that do a little bit too much, feeling they have to do it themselves. That ball, he has a little pace. If he plays it and goes, he can get the ball on the return into the box.
This 3-0 lead is rarefied air for High Point, as despite their 2 wins, they've only been in the lead for 9 minutes all season long. They won that overtime game, and they scored those 2 late goals late against Incarnate Word. But other than that, they've been playing from behind most of the season, coming back to tie some of those games. But They're enjoying up 3-0, having some fun out there.
And another bad foul there, and looks like we will get a booking. We'll have another look at this, and clearly a foul here, and clearly a yellow card. Zach Jones, the sophomore and one of the transfers from App State. Getting the yellow card on referee Bazakos. We've seen some clever restarts. I think right here, this straight out, we'll see if something else can happen here, but clearly something that High Point spent a lot of time on, both on the corner kicks and the free kick that we saw earlier.
Free kick opportunity. Kudolo.
You're certainly not going to score bending it with the inside of your foot from there. It's got to go off the laces if you're going to have a chance. And some other scores tonight, Dean. There's a few games number of games going on. You have Creighton 1-0 over Villanova in Big East play. Creighton moves to 6-0-1, still without a loss. Dayton 1-0 over Ohio State, and Georgetown 2-0 over Butler. 2 goals in the last 25 minutes, and they're at 5-1-3.
High Point beat Dayton this year. It's a tough loss for the Buckeyes.
As a matter of fact, they beat them on an amazing free kick goal by Yearwood as well, and almost the same spot where they were set up there, Austin Yearwood, and it was worth going online and having a look at that. Just bent into the far corner, upper corner, and in overtime. That was come from behind. As you said, they haven't been ahead very, very often. Nahapong scoring to tie it, and Yearwood scoring to win that game for them. One of the big issues last year with High Point is they gave up 35 goals last year. One of their focuses, they've given up 9 goals so far this year. And you can see they got a lot of the elements to be a really, really good team.
Eden playing it into space. Both teams going to their bench. As that ball was played from Zach Jones.
And Quentin Reynolds offsides on that one, and he's back in the game. He had started the game, had a couple chances early for UNC Asheville, and a bit of a presence up top, and couldn't quite get through. You also have number 9, Zach Jones, has moved up top as well from his left midfield spot.
Saada Champong, along with the fellow freshman Ebi Kudolo, both from Ghana, and Champong has come in for Kudolo, so he's wearing number 6. As you're taking a look right there at Jonathan Ware on the throw-in. Under 14 minutes, it's been all High Point. Foul there from UNC Asheville, and he's going to get a card there too. That was fairly malicious, I would say, as Brian Wedogas will get the card, taking down Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez turning to his right side. Ramirez, who played on the left midfield in the first half, moves over on the right side, and he's got a nice left foot. It was to cut in, but actually the defenders initially turned him back, and clearly an unnecessary foul as he had a long way to go to still turn and go forward. So you have Ramirez on the ball.
Ramirez with Punyed. Here's Ramirez. Ramirez, look at the space he's got. Stepping up there is Sonny Makungu.
I'll tell you, Makungu, a presence there, Dean. He steps in there, he wins so many balls in the air as well on restarts, and certainly a transfer from NC State. NC State's big loss to let him go.
Another hard foul is going down is Punyed.
The referee calling Makungu in here.
He stopped the clock. So the clock is actually stopped. I know it's winding down here on our NSCA TV screen, but it's 13 minutes, 7 seconds left when he'll start it again. He does not seem to be in a hurry here.
No, he really doesn't, actually. Yeah, it's interesting. Again, I watched him there. I'm 99.9% sure he's the one who did the Duke game last night, and now I'm 100% sure because of how slow he was moving to do things last night as well.
The Champong with the service, looking for Ryan. And different kind of player, but with Mamadi Naipon finally going to graduate High Point University, you get the feeling Dustin Fonder looking to the future as giving plenty of minutes to the speedster Avery Ryan.
Absolutely. What a good game to get the minutes in as well. And, you know, the thing about with giving minutes to Ryan, with Pat Shelton getting off his injury as well, you know, there's got a lot of weapons in the attack. And, of course, one of the biggest weapons they would have had was Tony Murillo, the guy who's been injured 2 years in a row. As we see another foul here, and Quentin Reynolds going over top. I don't think any of these fouls have been malicious, actually. I think, you know, they're just fighting hard, trying to get something. And, of course, they've been chasing the game so much. That, you know, you spend a lot more energy defending. You know, now they're just tiring a little bit, and High Point feeling so good that, you know, the fouls are going to happen.
Now in the game, number 28, Brandon Sloan.
Usually when you're the team getting fouled a lot, it's not only a bad thing. It means you're doing something well, and that's, you know, that's the way that they're trying to stop you, whether by design or not. This isn't not by design. Not a Matt Kern team would not be doing that. But I think with these we're talking about Tony Murillo, who's a second year in a row with a knee injury, and 15 minutes into the first game of this season, and he's a huge loss for, you know, for High Point. I think they'd really built their, you know, team kind of around him this year. And, you know, this is one of the things I think they feel they're just starting to find themselves again.
Time now to tell you about the College Showcase. Youth clubs and players, they want to be noticed by the top college programs, and the NSCAA can help. Through its partnership with Elite Tournaments, the NSCAA College Showcase connects you with college coaches so you can show off your talents. Clubs, players, and college coaches can find out more information at nscaa.com/events. More subs coming in now for Dustin Fonder as High Point University with a comfortable lead over UNC Asheville to begin Big South play. High Point.
Also in number 26, Colin
I think one of the other things that's happened positive for High Point is that because of the lead and having control of the game, Ben Burden, who normally starts for them at right midfield, you know, with kind of a bit of a hamstring pull, they were going to be using them, you know, if they felt they needed to. And, of course, now they've been able to give him, you know, this night off as well. And, you know, again, a good thing when you have a hamstring not to test that out if you don't need to.
Reynolds making a nice run toward him with Zach Jones. Reynolds will drop it all the way back. They'll pop it in the box. There's Jones. And Price making his first start ever for High Point University here tonight, keeping that clean sheet. And you know he's going to see a lot here from UNC Asheville, particularly now with High Point going to their bench.
And Asheville going as direct as they can. But, yeah, so that's his name, Price. We haven't said it, you know, hardly at all tonight because he hasn't been tested, but came out well on that, getting 2 fists to that ball to punch the ball out. But 11 minutes left. And Price, you know, not a stranger to pressure situations or being, you know, under the microscope. He did play for the U17 U.S. Maccabea games in Brazil, the Pan Am games. It was a couple of years ago in Sao Paulo. I was down there myself with the over 35s. Player coach, but I was very smart not to put myself in. Okay, smart, not smart for the play of the game, smart for my body. But a great time down there.
Sotak will switch it right side. Coming over is Tefera. Look at High Point. I tell you, these young men off the bench want to show Dustin Fonder what they can do. Flag is up, offside, and even with a 3-0 lead. I like when you bring your subs in. They're trying to show Dustin Fonder what they can do. They're still playing here, the team in purple.
Well, that's one of the things is that you do go to your bench when you get the opportunity, and it doesn't happen too often. And, you know, it's not going to be a break for the other, you know, for UNC Asheville at all when that happens because of the energy that these players are going to bring in. And certainly playing at home tonight and such a perfect night for a game here at High Point.
Jones trying to get it back to Reynolds and Price. No problem.
Yeah, not a bad idea, actually. I don't know if that caught Reynolds a little by surprise that the ball was coming back, but, you know, that's where Reynolds needs to make himself more dangerous right after he laid that ball off.
The Champong. Here he comes. Another one of those Ghana sensations. The Champong. Thought maybe he was going to start. They went with Foster, but Champong showing some things here in the final 15. Back across. Jackson will punch it. He's fouled, and he has had a workout.
Yeah, he has. And you know, you're talking about, you know, a couple of people that we thought might start and everything as you look at the replay of the ball coming into the box. You know, and goalkeeper Dan Jackson getting out there strong, punching the ball out. But it's one of the things that, you know, as you get into, you know, this almost the middle of the season and you're trying to find yourself, you do need to figure out who you're going to go with. And this, you know, this is your core group, and you get to using, you know, maybe 14, 15 guys in a game, and, you know, and try to go with them and get that sort of rhythm. We've seen a number of teams still trying to find that.
I want to thank Roger Clodfelder, the Associate VP for Communications and Culture, as well as Dan Hauser, the Athletic Director here at High Point University, for spending some time with us. Joseph Arancio, the fine SID, said his name a few times.
We have Holy Rodriguez now in, freshman from Texas for High Point. And making it look easy, stepping in there. Number 3, Kevin Fallett for High Point, defender.
7 minutes left. Even a new back line now for High Point. Punyed. Now Ramsel. Tefera. And this will be knocked out of bounds. Ramsel sent out of there. One back here by High Point. Touch, shot from distance, hammered there by Wiley. Wiley thought he had one in the first half.
Yeah, he put one off the post in the first half, and Wiley, a player that actually came here, he was going to play lacrosse, and then came over to the soccer side. He played both growing up, just a great athlete and left-footed player, and is certainly going to make his name on the soccer program here.
Reynolds on the steal.
High Point continue to try to keep that ball moving and see if they can get another couple chances on goal. 3-0 lead, well deserved. Very impressed with what they have to offer, and Dustin Fonder can find the right pieces together. I think he's really going to have a good run in the Big South Conference. Big South that flag a foul there on Reynolds.
Yep. Yeah, push the guy down.
Yep. And the Big South, you know, Coastal Carolina, Sean Dawkins' team, was the preseason favorites, but you have to say High Point's got a lot of what it takes to challenge them for that.
Four minutes and change left here in this one. It's been all High Point University. They're on top 3-0 here at the beautiful High Point University. And they'll play it back. Goals from Punyed, from Mamadi Naipon, and from the talented freshman Avery Ryan to make it 3-0.
Some good talent shown there by Chris Ramsel. Playing at right back now. He started the game at right midfield. Came in at right back for Jonathan Ware. It's had a solid game, the sophomore from Maryland.
Seen a lot of great goals, but for my money, the Mamadi Naipon goal, like dancing through 5 people, playing it to himself, and then dancing through the 4 others was one of the best.
Yeah, I think, as the season goes on, everything, we're saying it's 4 or 5 people, 6. It's probably going to be about 12 or 13 people by the end of it, we're going to say. But look at that. Flips it over. There's 2 right there. 1 comes back for a second go.
There's 5.
Just get out of the way. 5.
6 when you count the goalkeeper.
6 with the keeper. 6 with the goalkeeper. I mean, again, what a goal.
We actually did get an accurate count there, Keith.
Yeah, which is amazing. And when we put numbers into the equation,
It will be 13, though, come Wednesday night.
Will be 13.
Remember
Exactly.
when Mamadi Naipon beat 13 players at High Point?
So that was great. There was one of the greatest goals of all time scored by George Best in the old NASL where he beat, I believe it was 7 players inside the 18-yard box to score a goal. And that was probably as reminiscent as you'll get of that in the college soccer scene.
Price trying to keep that clean sheet here in his first ever start. Dustin Fonder making a change. It's been Cody Palmer, who had a 2-3-1 record. That's obviously High Point's record. As High Point will now move to 3-3-1. UNC Asheville will drop to 1-4-1.
3-3-1, but more importantly right now, 1-0 in the Big South. This is the opener for both these teams.
Good tackle by High Point is Kevin Fillet, the junior. Spin here, so many subs now. Colin Sweeney, number 26, another hard foul that they'll let him play. Ramsel. Taken away for the moment, but one back by High Point. 90 seconds left. They'll head to the corner flag. It'll be a goal kick for UNC Asheville. It's been all High Point on a glorious weekend for High Point University. It's family weekend. Tons of purple all over the campus, which is spectacular. A student success center being built. I think an $18 million complex that is all geared around the success of the students getting the jobs after their time here at High Point University.
And I think they're going to be ending this evening, actually, a great day of events here at High Point, and topped off with this big win by the men's soccer team, and finishing it with a firework display as well tonight. So what a place to be. I don't know if it'll be ice cream at the fireworks display or not, Dean. If there is, I'll hang around.
And Keith talking about the fact that an ice cream truck will drive around here as well and give free ice cream to the students. All part of just the overall well-being of the students. Just good mental state. They do well in the classroom, and now you're seeing them do well on the athletic field as well. An impressive display here for Dustin Fonder and High Point University.
10, 9, 8,
including
7,
Mamadi
6,
Naipon, who
5, 4,
now with
3,
35
2,
goals He's already moved past the former Panther Chris Archer for Division I goals, and he's just 4 shy of Dexter Gilmore. And High Point University with a 3-0 win over UNC Asheville.
As they take on Longwood.
I tell you what, Dean, Niapon is going to be scoring those goals for sure this year to be the all-time leader. And we talk about fireworks. They're going off. There were fireworks during the day with Niapon and going off right now.
Yeah, I tell you what, well said, Keith.
There you go. It's not a blackout here. This is for real. Look at this.
Wow, incredible. They don't even wait a second, just start firing them right after the final whistle as it's 3-0 High Point. As you said, fireworks on the field and fireworks now in the stands, Keith.
I'll tell you something, Dean. I have to say that watching High Point right now, that their record does not match the quality of the team. And I think as they find themselves right now, maybe this is the confidence boost that they need. This is going to be a team that is really going to have a strong run in the Big South Conference. They won it in 2010, going undefeated, and I think they have a shot at this as well. A lot of talent on that team, a lot of different elements too, athleticism, everything.
All right. Now joined by Mamadi Niapon, scoring his 35th goal. Fireworks in the skies, and Mamadi Niapon, you beat 6 players for that goal. Tell us about that special goal.
I just took and scored a goal. It was a pretty good goal.
Wait, I'm sorry. What space did you take? There was no space. There were 6 people there. Come on.
There was 2 defenders, and I just saw a little space and just push the ball between his legs and just tap it in.
Mamadi Niapon, talk about the flow of your team now. Seems like you're starting to put it together here your senior year.
Definitely, we got it together. We passed the ball pretty well today, and that was the key of winning today. Hitting the target every single chance we get, and definitely moving the ball more.
4 more goals to break the all-time goal-scoring record here, no matter what the division. How excited are you to break that record, Mamadi?
Very excited. Hopefully I can keep scoring goals for my team.
All right, hey, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Mamadi Niapon getting it done. Fireworks in the sky. Remind everybody, the NSCA convention is coming up in Philadelphia. You can register now for the NSCA convention by going to nsca.com/convention. You see it right there, where love will be in the air in Philadelphia. For my broadcast partner, Keith the Batsnick, and the entire crew here in High Point University, we want to thank Roger Clodfelder, Dan Hauser, Joe Oroncio, and everybody at High Point. Your final score, once again, High Point 3, UNC Asheville 0. And you saw it all right here on NSCAA TV.